Well, they're getting paid for doing nothing. Government workers put on paid administrative leave, not for weeks, but for months and years. Channel 2's Justin Gray exclusively uncovered details about how often and where this is happening. He is live in Washington, D.C. And Justin, this is 100% legal for now?
And Justin, that is why a top U.S. senator wants to change the law. These federal workers, it's costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars for them to take a nap, go to the gym, whatever they want to do except work.
I was given a box, I packed up my office, and I was escorted out.
That was it. Stuck on paid leave for 9 months. No explanation on what VA employee Marshon Johnson allegedly did wrong for nearly a year. Even now, she's Skyping us from Florida because while allowed back to work in March of 2014, the IT supervisor was moved to this out-of-state detail.
The plug got pulled, and the question is why?
It's a question hundreds of federal workers find themselves asking. Put on paid administrative leave for months and even years.
You're talking about not just tens of millions of dollars, but hundreds of millions of dollars that are being wasted.
Senator Chuck Grassley's office is investigating the no-show workers. He found just within the Department of Homeland Security, 87 workers placed on paid leave for more than a year. A Border Patrol agent paid more than $340,000 while off the job for more than 6,000 hours. And an ICE supervisor paid nearly $400,000 for time spent not working. All of it paid by your tax dollars.
It's just easier for the government to send them home and pay them to do nothing.
Attorney Debra D'Agostino represents many workers who've been stuck in limbo on paid leave, and she says it's no vacation.
They want to be at work.
Senator Grassley doesn't place the blame with the employees, but with government bureaucrats.
It's become a crutch for poor management.
I reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. A spokesman there tells me they follow the legal guidelines for administrative leave, but he says they have just recently changed their policies to better monitor those cases that stretch out over several months. Senator Grassley tells me he plans to introduce a bill to force departments to make faster decisions.
It's going to take legislation to correct this.
The only punishment Marshon Johnson ever received over what turned out to be questions about her time card was what's called a letter of counseling, basically a note in her file.
You have to move on, but it's tough. It's tough.
Tough for taxpayers, too. It's estimated the federal government spent more than $3 billion on paid administrative leave over 3 years. And Senator Grassley tells me he is working to draft that legislation right now to keep these paid administrative leave, keep these folks on paid administrative leave limited to a shorter time period. Reporting live in Washington tonight, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
Well, common sense says that this would go through, but what kind of support are we looking at, Justin, in Congress at the outset?
Well, this does have support initially from both parties. They're still working on the language, but the key here, employees, they also want this legislation too. They say this is no vacation for them. This is weeks, months, even years with all this hanging over their head. So really, most people looking to get something changed with this law.
And you know, Justin McKee, let's hope something totally unrelated doesn't get attached to this particular legislation to address this problem. Justin Gray, live in D.C.